All right, Drew, we're going to talk about Chapter 12, which has to do with Andrew Jackson. Who was Andrew Jackson?
He was a military man who was born in South Carolina. He and his brother were captured by the British in the Revolutionary War. His mother paid them both out, but soon after they were out of jail, his brother died, and then after that, his mother. Once that happened, he moved to Tennessee and became a farmer in the West. Then in 1824, he went for president but didn't have enough votes in Congress and that only had the popular vote, so he did not become president. Then in 1828, he had both Congress and popular, so he became president.
Good. Who were the people that supported him in the election of 1828? How did he get that vote?
The people who supported him were the people in the West because he was from there. And I'd say people who knew about the war he was in, which was the War of 1812, where he got his nickname Old Hickory because they said he was as tough as hickory.
Great. Okay, and what were the three main areas of concern that he had to deal with during his 8 years as president?
States' rights, Indians, and stuff with the banks.
Okay, let's talk about the Indians. There were a lot of Indians still in the northeast and southeast, mainly the southeast, at that time. And the people of the southeast wanted the Indians moved out of there. Why did they want the Indians moved?
Land.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what was Jackson's approach to dealing with that issue?
He moved them out of their land, either telling them or forcing them. And when he forced them, they only had this stuff on their backs, and so many died on the trail, it is now called the Trail of Tears.
And where did they go? Do you know? Where were they moved to?
I know the area. I know in later chapters that we read, it was kind of around the Mexican territory area, but I can't remember what state names.
Okay. And do you remember the names of any of the tribes that were involved?
I think Abalone. I'm not good with Indian names.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the states' rights conflict, what was that all about, mainly?
It was about tariff, which is pretty much tax.
Mm-hmm.
The rich people wanted tariffs so they could sell stuff for higher prices, and the poor people in the South did not because they were farmers and they only had cotton, which they traded for other things, which is why they did not like tariff. And this was actually the first time, because of this, South Carolina thought of seceding, but, didn't.
Oh, I see. They didn't
They didn't.
during this time?
No,
Okay.
happened later.
So what was the argument about, the Union versus states? Who had the right or didn't have the right?
I honestly cannot remember.
Okay. Well, that would involve the tariffs. Remember that they thought they had the right to
Oh, yeah.
to cancel the tariffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember now.
Okay. And the bank issue, what was the second bank of the U.S.?
I think it was the second biggest bank of America was private, and I know Jackson said no to this, and it was the thing that started the Depression.
Okay. All right. Very good.